A raid in Essex means red alert for the Environment Agency.
We're looking for illegal waste sites. They could be car breakers or skip companies without permits.
The officers are well briefed.
OK, you've got your briefing sheets this morning, just to tell you that they have got personal details in, so they are confidential.
But there's no telling what or who they might find.
Where there's muck, there's money, and that does tend to bring out the criminal elements. I've had a shotgun put to my face, I've had a knife round my neck. It's not pleasant.
The Environment Agency officers move in, with the police in support.
This is the whole area we're targeting today.
Hello! Morning! Just come and open the gate, please. Good morning. We're from the Environment Agency.
All right.
Where we suspect there's any harm to the environment or potential illegal activities, we have powers of entry.
Lovely. Thank you. Is anyone in the office today, do you know? No? Okay, is it just yourself on site today?
I'm more a security guard in here.
What they're doing is purchasing equipment, and if it's not working, then it falls under the Environment Agency to waste legislation, and then they're shipping it abroad, but because they're unaware of the legislation, they're shipping it illegally.
All will be revealed when they look inside the containers. At the industrial estate, the Environment Agency officers begin their inspection of the containers.
What we're doing is we're looking for evidence of waste, possibly depollution of cars and burning.
I've got some concerns about that vehicle, because if it was roadworthy, I wouldn't suspect it to be on its side like that.
Whether it's a car or electrical goods, if not in working order, they are automatically classified as waste.
I'm just having a look at the fridges to see if they look like they might be in working order. We've got the plugs on off, they're blatantly damaged, or just trying to see if they've had parts removed. If they're in good working order, they can be used as they are. But if they're in bad working order, then it will be waste, and there are restrictions on what waste can be exported.
Another container and another haul of white goods, which look decidedly past their best.
Yeah, it's just, it's had its pump removed, so that one is definitely waste.
And now, some more filthy fallout.
Mixed bag. Looks like there might be some vehicles in here. Yeah, there's a vehicle. Might get a PC Kiddle to ensure that hasn't been stolen or anything.
It seems many of these are waste items and may be intended for resale, but where have they come from? Officers have intercepted a van arriving at the site.
Just wanted to know what you were up to today, where you were going, and what you're taking the waste to.
To this man, to selling this one.
Okay. So where has the waste come from?
This one?
Yeah.
From the street, from the rubbish. I find it.
Okay. Why would you take it into there?
Because it's pay me £1.50 for each.
Okay. These are waste products, and they shouldn't be taken to a site like that. It does say on the notice board, no waste.
What is found somebody carrying waste who's unregistered. So what we'll do is giving them the opportunity to come into compliance, just explaining the regulations to them in case they're unaware of what the legal requirements were.
It seems these items may have been found at fly tips and brought here to be sold on, not correctly recycled.
Looks to be washing machines, fridges.
There are some horrible images of children picking over waste that we've exported to them, and so the impact on the people in those countries and the impact on the environment. But the people who are exporting the waste are not concerned about that, it would appear.
But if it's nice and neatly sort of packaged, then they tend to be reused at the other end. This looks like it is suitable for reuse. Right, 1, 2, 3.
Another container, and this time something entirely different. Computers.
This looks pretty well package it. No, if it's going to be waste, they're not going to take the time and effort to actually wrap it all up and make it nice and neat.
This lot have been carefully wrapped and stacked, and if they're working, may not be illegal waste.
Things have improved since the last time we were here, and we're going to have to maintain our presence so that people know that we're here and that we're keeping an eye on them and making sure that they're not polluting the environment or putting people's health or their well-being at risk.
In the end, only 3 containers are questionable, and the port authorities are warned accordingly.
Demand for council housing in London is high, so when a flat becomes vacant, it's important to get it back on the market as quickly as possible. It's the job of council property manager Tony to make this happen.
It should be interesting to see what we find. These are normally absolutely lovely.
You don't have to be on the housing list to be desperate for a home.
Well, it looks like we've had some sort of bird life in this one. Oh, my God. There's enough feathers here.
It's some of those not-so-friendly feathered friends.
Yeah, seems like we've got birds.
It's not just friends, it's friends of friends.
It's more like an aviary than a bathroom. Absolutely covered. How anybody's ever lived in here, I do not know.
It's clear that the pigeons have settled in and are very happy with their home.
There's even eggs where they've hatched out, so that they've obviously been living in here for some time. But I don't think this property's been empty too long, so I would have thought that probably the tenant's been in here with the birds living in here, which just seems unbelievable. I shouldn't think the bathroom has been used at all for probably months and months and months and months.
But a pigeon's heaven can be dangerous.
Looks like they've been everywhere through the hallways and through the bedrooms and in the kitchen. Not quite so bad in the kitchen, but it's bad enough. The smell is absolutely terrible. It is like being in a bird cage. Even the flies are dying, giving up the ghost. Even they can't survive in it.
It's the dust from the droppings which is the real problem, and Tony will have to call in a specialist team before a new tenant comes in.
We must ensure that it's thoroughly clean for the incoming tenant. Last thing we want to do is put them in somewhere that they're going to catch some horrible disease.
The truth is that if you're a serious grime fighter, you are not a pigeon fancier. In Dagenham, Gary and Luke are sizing up the problem in a vacant council property. They're certainly not doing this for a hobby.
Yeah, that's bad. It's not good at all.
It's not good. We need to get masked up. When you start disturbing stuff like that, it's not very good. It's not good for your lungs at all.
When it's as bad as this, the boys will not be taking any chances. They decide to dress for the occasion. These masks are not designed to stop the smell, but they do guard against the potentially toxic dust from the droppings. It's a problem that Gary does not take lightly.
My father, he had emphysema. To see a grown man having to have permanent oxygen up his nose and he could just about get up some stairs. I'll be quite honest, when I'm doing jobs like this, I'd rather wear masks any day of the week because I don't really want to be like that.
The chemicals the lads are using to dissolve the hardened droppings is strong stuff and requires a licence to use.
This just kills off all the living organisms in obviously all of the pigeon fat, etc.
Well, you've got a dead bird here, and there's loads of nesting material, and they've got all the twigs in that.
As Gary and Luke start the deep clean, they make a surprising discovery.
There you go. Yeah, there's a nice nest in the sink. Couple of baby chicks.
I think they're dead.
No, they're not. No? No, they're not. Near enough dead anyway. But have to dispose of them.
There's no room for sentiment. The chicks are suffering, and Gary has no choice but to act quickly and humanely.
Right back, girl. I suppose someone's got to do it, and we get in and get it done, I suppose.
They are a pest, so they've got to be dealt with, you know.
Pigeons haven't always been treated as pests. They used to be seen as a valuable source of food and fertiliser. But for many years in towns, they've been regarded as a menace, scavenging on the scraps we leave behind. A broken window in a vacant property is just asking for a pigeon to take up residence.
They're just opportunists like any pest, and they'll come in and that's what they'll do. If we didn't block that off, and they're going to come in and make the mess again.
We're just going to try and get the glass out and get the frame off as much as we can, and then just try and get this blocked up.
Pigeons can reproduce up to 6 times a year, but their happy families can be our horrible neighbours.
This is for ceramic, such as the baths, sinks and things like that. And you see, it works quite well when you put it on. It's like an acid, and so it just burns away all the filth and that on there.
Before long, this will look as bird-free and fancy-free as any flat should.
This is workable now. You know, it's all been disinfected. It's had biocide all over it to kill all the organisms and horrible things that are in the fouling. And now it's ready to go.
Since the filming of the show, the Dagenham pigeons have flown the coop and a nice new tenant has moved in.